It's an honour to be here in Bristol, a city that in 1821 gave us the first woman to qualify as a doctor, and whose 1963 bus boycott inspired the UK's first Race Relations Act. A city with a history of making change and effect. A city with a history of making change and a future being created now by our Green councillors and our Green Lord Mayor. It's an honour and a privilege too that I stand before you, having already served as your Deputy Leader for the last 4 years and ready to do so for another term. Thank you for putting your faith in me once more. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Jonathan and Sian on their election, two formidable Greens, who I've already worked with together to achieve so much, and I look forward to what we can deliver working together in the next 2 years. Because I'm incredibly proud of our dynamic and fearless party, of what we achieve against the odds. And I'm incredibly proud of the difference that each of you makes. In the Green Party, it's dynamic activists on doorsteps who go out and share the passion and principle behind our unique message. In the Green Party, it's members who make policy and who live that policy by their actions. Whether that's fearlessly laying our bodies on the line to stop fracking or challenging injustices in our communities. It's your work in the party that sets the agenda and your tireless campaigning that drives and inspires me and makes me proud every day. Conference. I want to let you into a secret. I'm not here just to get a few more Green votes. I am not here to enable other parties to look progressive by adopting our policies. I am here to work with you to build the foundations of the first Green government. It's a big and bold goal, but we're a big and bold movement with a thirst for change. A movement that knows that we must radically overhaul a broken economic order, putting the environment at the heart of everything we do. We are the pioneers with the only possible vision of the future, who boldly go where others dare to tread. No wonder the ultimate pioneer, Patrick Stewart, captain of the Starship Enterprise, has recently given us his support. Although actually I'm not quite sure what he thinks about our policies on long-distance travel. The spirit of who we are as Green pioneers is unbreakable, immeasurable, and tenacious. Our task is building a politics not only for the many of today, but also for future generations. A politics for humankind and for the natural world too, that will be achieved working internationally and collaboratively. Our task is rebalancing and redefining politics, because the environmental and social crisis that we face demands nothing less. I dream of a dynamic, fearless Green government because I cannot tolerate injustice. Whether that's the people without a home, forced to sleep on the streets tonight, whether that's the Windrush generation who gave their lives to the UK and then got threatened with deportation in return, and a generation of young people who still do not receive equal pay. Right now, if you are under 18, you receive £1.70 less minimum wage than someone between the ages of 18 and 21. So today, I am proud to announce our policy of equal pay for everyone under 21. We want to build a working environment that is fair for everyone. We have to make sure that things are fair in people's first jobs. So if you are under 21, the Green Party promises you won't lose out because of your age. And we promise you equal pay for equal work. And it doesn't stop there, though. A fair working place has to be fair for apprentices as well. So today we're pledging official support for a living wage for apprentices. The current minimum wage for apprentices is £3.70 an hour. An unfair sum, I think we can all agree. Meanwhile, 3/4 of young people polled this year have said that low pay would put them off taking an apprenticeship. It's no wonder we have a skills shortage in this country. It is time that the political class woke up to the value of investing in training and apprenticeships, to the hardships faced by young people today, and to the realities of pay inequality in Britain. And on top of this, while other politicians seem to have recently discovered the looming climate crisis, we have long known that you cannot separate social, economic, and environmental injustice. The climate catastrophe is affecting everyone, even the rich. But those causing most of the emissions are outsourcing the damage to poorer countries and to future generations. This summer, fires were burning in the Arctic Circle. Floods washed away homes in India. Storms raged around the world. You'd have to be willfully ignorant to not see that climate chaos is upon us. I'd like to think that people have woken up to the climate emergency, that Caroline Lucas will never again have to walk around Westminster with a big green question mark to challenge the total absence of the environment in the media's election coverage. I'd like to think that Rupert Reid won't again have to explain to the BBC and other media why giving airport time to climate deniers isn't a balanced debate, it is dangerous. Yeah. But conference, whilst together we have already achieved remarkable things, we need to do more. Although they are welcome, commitments on everything from reducing plastic and food waste to an investment in green energy simply does not add up to the transformation we need to secure the future of our planet. On the one hand, we are facing an ecological crisis. On the other hand, we have Michael Gove acting all superhero because he's carrying a keep cup to his cabinet meetings. Conference, the Green Party is needed now more than ever before, because only we truly recognise that whilst our individual choices make a difference, it is deep-seated, structural change that will deliver a safe, green and just future. The change we need is about looking forward, not looking into the rearview mirror, looking towards a resilient and diverse economic system. Be a party that is pro-business, because business, like all of us, needs a planet. Where would we be today if those who profited from the investment in Deepwater Horizon had been made responsible from the start for the colossal risk that they were creating? That disaster took the lives of 11 workers. It killed off fishing and tourism. And as we now know, it altered the very building blocks of ocean life. Corporate social responsibility has to mean more than a glossy brochure and good intentions. That's why today I'm committing to work with business to bring forward policies that will reward green investment and innovation, and outlaw the environmental pirates and build a future for pioneers. A radical green economy isn't just about the state and individual. It embraces startups and cooperatives, land trusts and community interest companies, social enterprises, enterprising communities, new models of workers' ownerships, and things we haven't even begun to imagine. It fearlessly reimagines business as a force for good, for creativity, a positive role to play in an economy where wealth is shared and our environment is enriched. Politics needs the Green Party because we're always pushing the boundaries of what it means to be radical and forward-facing. And we will always continue to do so, even while others cherry-pick our ideas. We will also continue to uniquely define politics as so much more than putting a cross on your ballot paper. Greens are at the heart of communities, pushing back against the construction of HS2, against the Wilf nuclear power plant on Anglesey, or in my own community, the toxic sludge being dumped in Cardiff Bay from Hinkley Point. Where abhorrent inequalities are in evidence, Greens will be there. Where injustices are being perpetrated, Greens will be there. Where our environment is under attack by powerful moneyed interests, you can bet that Greens will be there, speaking out, fighting back, and leading the resistance. Because politics for us is about inspiring people to hope. Hope allows us to believe that change is always possible and the green changes everything. The power of every small action reminds me of the regular trips I used to take as a child, just down the road to Weston-super-Mare. We'd spend our time scrambling over rocks, eating ice cream at Anchorhead, and wandering to the pier to try our luck on the arcade machines. I'd put in my 2p's, wait to see if it was my coin that would tip the balance, and watch as those couple of coins just hung over the edge. You'd stare at it, knowing that the next person who came along would be in for that big win, and it might not be you. I often see activism like this, like those machines. It takes just 1 2-pence piece to win. But that is only made possible by all the people before you who did their part to tip the balance. That's what it's like to be a member of this party. That's what it's like to create political change. Every electoral win comes not just as a result of a single great campaign, but as a result of all the hard work of people like you, bringing others to our way of thinking. And it is that work that fundamentally tips the balance. And the balance is starting to tip in our favour. Conference, we now have a record number of Green councillors, so please join me in a round of applause for our newly elected councillors in Peterborough, in Lambeth, in Cannock Chase, in Trafford, in Knowsley, in Richmond upon Thames, in Burnley, Birmingham, Reigate and Barnstead, in Sheffield, Solihull and Worcester. Marks 100 years after the vote was won for some women. In the words of Christabel Pankhurst, her words seem more poignant than ever today. We're here to claim our rights as women, not only to be free, but to fight for freedom. That is our right, as well as our duty. The government marked this historic milestone by issuing a pardon to all the suffragettes imprisoned and force-fed for fighting for their rights. Then, just 11 days ago, 3 activists were imprisoned for taking on the destructive fracking industry. I want to thank them for their fearless and principled actions. Greens up and down the country who have been at the heart of the anti-fracking movement. And I want to tell the government that, like the suffragettes, these people are the heroes of this story. We cannot wait another 100 years before we recognise that those on the front line of environmental destruction are freedom fighters, not criminals. That we must ban fracking and we must free the three. In the darkness, we need to light the candles of hope. We must continue to make the case that democracy didn't end on the 23rd of June 2016. Whether you voted leave or you voted remain, you have the right to still be heard. We must do whatever we can to stop our country crashing out of Europe with no deal, because it's increasingly clear that this Tory government would rather wreck our economy and our society than trust the people with their own future. We must bring this question back to the people, and we must build a genuine people's vote. In the darkness, we need to hold on to what we believe. And that after what's been a tough summer for our party, I take some inspiration from former President Obama, and I quote, "The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward the precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that we are all equal, we are all free, and we all deserve a chance to pursue our full measure of happiness." At the moment, I feel that green spirit surges through each of us, and that spirit is enduring. And as we lay the foundations for a future green government, as we stand on the shoulders of giants who have achieved change before us, whether it be big or small, whether they realise it or not, we reaffirm our belief that tomorrow will be better because of what you, what I, what all of us do today. Thank you.